you would have got caught here. And this is why I mean, do not take puts at supports. And secondly, it's very crucial you identify the magenta early. This was also why I mentioned about the magenta being clutch right here, right? We identified it way before these candles even happened. So understanding the magenta was really, really important, right? I think I identified it even before that over here. You shouldn't be shorting here already because firstly, right, we saw strong selling. So this was strong even without charting the green algorithm. You would be able to tell that the selling has slowed down to that teal. So until you see that a bearish control has started building more liquidity, you cannot be shorting this here. And so this would have created a beautiful ZOMI trade of that magenta, right? If you were looking out for an early trade, catch a trade here, you may get lucky because this will be the strongest buying precision algorithm that you have yet identified. You identified it along the way. So some of you caught the ZOMI trade here. Great. But now you get early profits to aid you in your trades later in the day, or just call it a day. Why not? Right. So understanding the ZOMI here instead of shorting this was very important because we've already identified the magenta, which you will see came in very handy later. So magenta, you see it magenta here as well. Right, and also we identified the pink, right? You remember this, right? So we identified the pink, and that will come in very handy too because I talked about that over here, right? Understanding the pink to build liquidity. Likewise, we identified the pink really, really early. So the market was really kind today to us, right? And also the cup close, I will talk about that later too. And this is a continuation from yesterday here, right? This was from yesterday. Now, if I zoomed it out, you will see it so much clearly, right? About this beautiful structure here. Now, this was what I was talking about, right? The market was building liquidity already. You understand this, right? I talked about this, right? We actually retested the 5-day moving average pre-market, right? Take a look. That's 5-day right there. And we grabbed the liquidity on the way up. So exactly as I talked about here, isn't it? So understanding this context that I was talking about will give rise to this pink here in the 1-minute chart, translating the structure from the 30-minute to the 1 minute. So you know what you're looking out for and preparing for. That will come in very handy. But that pink algorithm aside, right? Look out for the dual algorithms here. Now remember the magenta, I talked about that. And you see magenta again, this time with more confirmation here. Now, once again, dual algorithms with the orange and the magenta. And this one beautifully. Couple of things here. This is the most beautiful trade I think I've seen this week, but it's unfortunate I wasn't around on my desk to take this, but you see for yourself, it is well, kind of like ZOMI guided by your pink, but if you were to transpose it slightly lower, you see that happening. You see the magenta was completely in control, forming that head and shoulder pattern several times as well. Right, several nested structure here, the rejection of orange and the magenta, so giving you the dual algorithm setup, and lastly a very clear precision algorithm in that green to retest the 5-day moving average. Now remember, how many times have I told you that the highest print is considered a retest of the 5-day moving average? It is because that's where people place their orders, right? So you have to understand that this is why having a dynamic 5-day moving average is really important, because if this were to be a flat line, it will probably be here. You don't get the full picture, right? So this is important. And this is a beautiful trade. Now, in terms of structure, this will be absolutely beautiful. And if you were to take a trade here, right, firstly, a good trade here will be, well, if you were to transpose this pink algorithm slightly lower, now this will be beautiful, right? If you were charting diligently, this will be beautiful. Obviously, the magenta retrace here as well. You see the magenta has always been in control. So this was beautiful right there. Setting your stops near to where the pink algorithm and the magenta will be. Otherwise, wait for retrace. You saw the retracement here and adhering to that green algorithm. Now, before this particular green line, the green was about here, and you see a beautiful retrace, right? The green was only pushed out once this candle started forming, right? And you see it adhered